paper, bro.
Nice. Joey Camp 2020. That's right. I have a question for you. Sure. You know, I know you guys. I think we talked past. They stopped you guys from videotaping in Union Station.
Inside Union Station?
Yeah, the news crews. No more videotaping inside Union Station.
I don't know anything about that.
Okay, because you know they changed the rules at the courthouse too.
Yes,
used to be
that
that we used to all be able to videotape wherever. Now I got this one little section on the 3rd floor. Have you guys tried to videotape in there since the rules have been changed?
Yes.
And what's been your success or failure?
I myself discovered that rule changed and I was not aware of it. And went ahead and did it. Nothing happened.
Well, you're lucky. Probably because you had the big logo with the embroidery.
No. Actually, that might have caused me more trouble.
Really?
Yeah, I understand we are challenged.
It's good. I'm glad to hear that somebody is, because somebody needs to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Occupy Denver.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm excelling.
Rick, I'm Brian Loma. We've talked a few times.
Yeah.
So. Amongst others. I suppose it depends on the election season. I was with Prop 97, Portland Road, 2012. I was candidate for Denver, Denver Homeless Out Loud to fight the issue of homelessness. We stay active. So, but this whole videotaping in the courts has been interesting in the courthouse, and of course they've now stopped the allowance for recording in the police department and in the building, in the lobbies of the police departments. You're no longer allowed to videotape, and to the degree that a gentleman on the sidewalk has passed for videotaping the building.
From the sidewalk?
From the sidewalk.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. So we're hoping to challenge that soon as well. I'm glad you guys are out here. Definitely not the same size crowd as what we had on Saturday.
Well, circumstances changed during the day today.
I have heard a little bit of that, yeah. Excellent. Appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you.
Pardon me? Yeah, no, you're good. Hi, everybody. We're live. We're downtown Denver. We're at the Capitol. That was Tom's. Is with Channel 4 News, and it was really interesting that even the Channel 4 is having issues getting videotaping at the courthouse, and they have legal capacity to challenge, I guess. So that's exciting for us today. But I guess there's been some significant changes in our community's stance. Let's see what your sign was. Is no war with Iran, impeach and remove. And Trump is a warmongering bully. Fun. Thank you. And so, yeah, there's just a quieter crowd tonight, I think. Not too heavy police presence, except for these state patrol officers that are hanging out here with us tonight. And besides these three guys, I think we're pretty just temperate tonight. There's a schedule, do you know?
Thanks for coming.
No, of course. I'm doing stuff.
Good. Good to hear.
BD. Period. Last time was fantastic. May have been a great enough to, depending on capacity tonight, but it'll be fun. It was a good time. Was really proud of everybody and the way they managed it. We've been surrounded a Denver Police Department unit at the end of the event with the crowd. It was a rare and enjoyable experience. Yeah. So I'll join this circle because I know these people. I made my way around. I talked to Rick Salinger, which was very cool. Whoops. Rick Stellinger says that they even had trouble filming at the house.
This morning?
No, just ever going on. So that's good to know.
So let me get this right. An ICE agent can walk freely through the hallways of the courthouse.
You can't
Our news media can't
record in them.
and report on them.
And the statute by the Colorado who says that you can videotape police officers in the execution of their duties is a statute that is possibly going to be challenged by the home rule of Denver to say, no, we don't think so. Because basically how they're getting away with the court order right now, right? You can't videotape in the hallway of the courthouse, and if the sheriffs are out there doing bad, you can't videotape them doing that. Well,
Because I know there's some Candy's ready to start some shit on some other areas. That's why I was just curious.
yeah, and I think that on this one, we're working on the legal aspects, and so there's some research being done by at an office in the city and county of Denver for a non-governmental entity, and there are some building locations throughout the downtown metro area, if you will, that have offices full of lawyers who love and make their living by suing the city and county. And we've started inquiring on a couple of them. Yeah. But here's the deal. Like, there's several things we're looking at because, they don't follow ADA regulations, right? And straight up, I have a man who was arrested for not following the instructions of a Denver sheriff's who he couldn't hear because he's deaf and wasn't wearing his hearing aids.
Right.
And they took him to jail for not obeying.
Lucky they did. Immediate.
Well, that's why we're doing this, because there's still killers at work.
Oh, yeah.
You get there? Well, I understood that the jump would have lasted due to
Oh, the stand down.
bullshit. I love this flag, though, folks. You gotta just understand that it's a giant in peach, right? The Cheeto, roly-poly. It's like one of those little characters that you would like. You would play with as a kid, and it would never stop. The Weeble Wobbles. The Weeble Wobbles. That is a Weeble Wobble Trumpy flag right there, and I love it. And of course, yes, a lot of these people are against the urban camping ban. We have been putting our lives on the line in various ways. I'm looking for HD. Right? Look at everybody, it's portion control.
Hello, how is everybody?
Well, enjoying a quiet night. Yeah, anti-road rally. Anti-Trump rally. Andrea, I need HD6 and HD9 PCPs. Precinct captains. You know anything about this? Okay.
What is that?
I'm working on Senate District 31 campaign because she stepped down. It's an emergency setting, and they have to decide who the new Senate representative is for Senate District 31 on the 17th of January, because the current Senator Lois has like some terminal necrolizing cancer disease that's gonna like paralyze her, and so she's got to like quit now. Yeah, it's really bad. So, yeah. Oh. So, I'm just trying. Yeah, it is horrible. I get called for the campaign. One of the reps trying to run for office. So, such as it is, it's Denver politics. How can I say no?
I think it's so easy.
Yeah.
How are you doing? Well, thank you. Do you two know each other?
No.
Bonnie, Andrea,
Andrea.
Andrea.
Podcast.
Bonnie serves as the portion control regulation on the 16th Street Mall Sunday mornings to ensure that there's enough food for everybody without it going into the compost
Is
bin.
it every Sunday? Every Sunday. What time? 9:30.
You know, Janet's Kitchen. Janet has enough people to go live now. We're trying to get her to show up the courage to do so.
Every Sunday, 9:30.
Every Sunday, 9:30, yes. And
And
I've
where on the mall?
seen Aaron, Brian. Yes.
All right.
Right by the main.
Gotcha.
Reserve, the Federal Reserve.
Okay.
Skyline Park. You know, where the women used to sleep in a rape-free zone before the urban camping ban. Right?
I'm sorry.
Wait, wait, folks! I gotta show you this face. Say that. I'm gonna say this one more time. I want people to see the reaction because I say it intentionally. Do you remember when women used to get to sleep downtown in a rape-free zone? Yeah. So think about it. At the 16th Street Mall in Skyline Park, outside the Federal Reserve, there's tons of Halo cameras. There's the Federal Reserve buildings. It's all under these security cameras, right? Prior to May 12, 2012, when the city enacted the urban camping ban, women, they, thems, others, however it was like, she may have identified in that case or whatever, that was a safe zone for sleeping, where 75, maybe 100 people a night would be out there crashed out, 11, 12 o'clock at night till maybe 5 in the morning or so. And I say this, it's very important, because since the advent of the urban camping ban, one of the corollary statistics that we have is the doubling, statistically, of reported rapes in the city and county of Denver per capita. So it went from 350 to roughly 700 per 100,000 residents since the advent of the urban camping. So when we... Yes. Yeah?
Honestly, when we think there's hardly any women, and the reason why there's hardly any women because there's so many alleyways down on the 16th Street Mall. It's not safe for them at all. It's mostly men.
Hey, you gotta start doing this. Live streaming. And we're gonna get you to come back on this here in a minute. This is Joe, by the way. Joey is running for multiple seats in the national and local elections. And he is going to be the one that makes fun of everybody by being at the debate and answering very humanely appropriate answers in a way that a politician might not. I'm excited about this. Joey 2020 for Joey Camp 2020. All of you who are out there in the world today. So his gathering, more are appearing. I think we're all anxiously awaiting the speakers and to figure out if we're going to march or not. And I'm really not quite sure why we're just hanging out, because there's piggies over there and I can't do the things I want to do. Oh well. It's just an amazing impeachment. Is that impeachment light? It's amazing. It's a weebly wobbly orange tweeter.
Real one. That will do. I want one. Amazon, $10.
Oh, really? That's it? Amazon, $10. Somebody send me one of those, huh?
$1.
Hey, Jason. Hey, everybody. PJ. PJ, we love you, hon. Yeah, so we're just hanging out.
Yeah.
Full day. We little wobbly, but they don't fall down. Oh, just as real. You might have gotten a troll comment in there. Stop the camping ban. Yes, Dylan. Thank you all for being here. I don't know what's going to happen. If we don't get some speakers and some marching, I might just have to shut the camera off. I did get to interview Channel 4, though. And that was really interesting because I don't think he realized that he was being interviewed. Because I had my camera in my pocket. I probably I'm so excited. And I notified about how they're like, can't videotape the police department anymore either. Fun shit about Tom Salinger. That's his name. Tom Salinger back there, folks. So, did you get to meet PJ when she was in town?
I did.
Yeah, she was in the hospital for a week. Nerve damage that may be permanent, and she can't maybe not be able to walk very well. And I'm not 100%. I just know that it's an issue. It's not fun. And it's not nice, and we have a lot of concern. Everything for Gemma and her family goes well. Diana Bray, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing? Great. You want to tell everybody about your Senate campaign?
I'd love to.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, we're good.
Dave. I'm gonna move this way though because there's a bad lighting issue behind that one. And oh, look, there's a statue of colonialism behind you. Tell us about what's going on. How's the campaign going?
Campaign is going great. It's absolutely fantastic, and just going for it. We're in a real crunch time now because we're petitioning onto the ballot, and that's been a very interesting process as it starts. We're essentially going to be going the petition route, not the caucus route. So that means we have to get whole bunches of petition signers. And
Yes.
So that's what I'm working on full time.
Okay. How's that going?
It is
good?
It is good.
I will suggest something. How's the mass transit routes along your borders or within your districts that you're running for?
So I'm running for U.S. Senate.
Yes.
So I'm interested in the entire country.
Yes, but I'm saying in Denver or in the states.
Yes.
How are the mass transit routes in your district? In the part of the state that you're running for.
Yeah.
They're a great place to get signatures. And the population tends to change every 15 to 20 minutes.
That's great advice. That's great advice.
That's a free one for you, huh?
Yeah. That's so good.
Yes.
Well, that's part of what we're doing. We're trying to figure out where are the Democrats, because signatures have to come from people who are registered Democrats. And not only that, people have had to register a month before they sign.
Yes.
So lots of people realize that. So look for people who haven't signed for somebody else. And people can caucus for one person and sign for another. But we are looking for all those ways where the Democrats are hanging out.
Yeah.
And we're looking for the Democrats.
So think about the people who ride mass transit, because that's a lot of environmentally, socially responsible people, and probably a lot of registered Democratic voters. Of course, the problem is we have a lot of unaffiliateds too, and that's the tricky part.
Yes.
So.
And so unaffiliated, a really important population, but they can't actually sign. They can't caucus.
They can't participate in the ballot initiative process.
Not in this part of it.
So. All right. Well, congratulations. Good luck. Again, that's Dr. Diana Bray, candidate for U.S. Senate. And when's the first debate we're gonna see you at? Do you know?
Yeah. Well, so we've already had about 15 forums and debates.
Okay.
Forums almost about every other day. Sometimes it's not all of us. Sometimes it's just some of us.
Okay.
I was at a forum last night with Stephanie Rose Spalding, which was awesome.
Okay. Nice.
I'm hoping that a woman is the one who gets through this time, because we've never had a female U.S. Senator from
Yes,
Colorado.
that's true.
So that's what we're aiming for.
There's a few women running for that bid.
Yes. There's 6 of us at the moment.
Indeed. Fantastic. Thank you for your time. Yes, I did. Hold on.
Point you for the
that went up last night, an immediate response to say no war. It's a weeknight. It's kind of chilly. This is pretty great. So let's give ourselves a round of applause. Okay, now we need you all to
I'm having a
come
focusing
and
issue.
Get back out here on the
the button
25th. That's the
slightly.
Global Day of Action, and we need everybody here to stay in the streets and to bring more people. All right. So we wanted to start by thanking everyone who is our local endorser today. I'm here with the Answer Coalition. This action is also endorsed by Abolish ICE Denver, Colorado Colorado Palestine Club,
Okay, I'm gonna slide through the camera,
Denver
please.
Communists,
Thank you.
Denver Peace Council, the Democratic Socialists of America, Food Not Bombs, the Green Party, Occupy Denver, the Party for Socialism and Liberation, Pikes Peak Women for Liberation, Resistance 5280, and Sanctuary for All Colorado. Okay, so we are back out here tonight because the Trump regime has brought the world to the brink of a catastrophic new war by ordering the assassination of one of Iran's top leaders, General Qasem Soleimani. He and his warmonger advisors knew that the leadership in Iran would have no alternative but to respond to this extreme provocation, opening the way for a massive new U.S. military assault on that country. And yes, predictably, Iran has retaliated by launching strikes on U.S. bases. But these strikes were deliberately designed to cause the least amount of casualties possible, to keep the escalation under control. And they successfully resulted in 0 deaths. So we owe Iran a deep gratitude for their restraint, because if Iran had responded with the recklessness and the aggression of the United States, we would be in an all-out war right now. This morning, the Trump administration announced that they're inflicting punishing new sanctions on Iran.
Boo!
And this is only as they evaluate their next steps. This is being falsely reported as a de-escalation, but what this really means is that the U.S. is inflicting more suffering on Iran, and that is not all. All-out military conflict is still on the table. That's right. The U.S. is still climbing the escalation ladder with Iran. So make no mistake, it is Trump and his administration which bear the full responsibility for the threat of a new war.
That's right.
It was Trump that prior to the assassination of Soleimani illegally broke the JCPOA, the Iran nuclear deal.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was Trump that imposed brutal sanctions on Iran, sanctions which are nothing less than war, sanctions which seek to strangle the economy and cause the maximum suffering for the more than 80 million people of Iran.
That's right.
Sanctions are war! Sanctions are war, that's right.
Trump is the terrorist.
That's right. We cannot expect Iran to simply act as a punching bag to the United States at the expense of their people. So we have to fight to stop the U.S. war machine. Last Saturday, tens of thousands of people came out in more than 90 cities across the country. We do not want war. And that is not enough. If we are going to stop the war machine, the people of the United States need to show up in mass in the streets every single time it's necessary. Every single time.
Yeah.
Are we going to do that? Are we ready? Yeah. Denver, we have a critical role to play. We brought 1,000 people out in the streets. 1,000 people joining us from the sidewalks.
Yeah.
This is something that Denver hasn't seen in years. All right? We need to keep this going. We need to multiply. We need double our numbers. We need triple our numbers.
That's right.
Every single time it's necessary. On January 25th, there's a global day of action, and people in cities and towns across the world will be joining us to say no war on Iran, not another U.S. war of aggression.
That's right.
Are you going to be there? Yeah. That's right. And are we going to bring more people?
Yeah.
That's right. So we need you to help get the word out. Get your friends to commit. Get your organizations to commit. This is everyone's struggle. We all need to be here. And we want to invite you, if you're ready to be a fighter in this movement, this Saturday, the Answer Coalition is hosting an online webinar. It's a teach-in to talk about building this movement, what that looks like.
Yeah.
If you're ready to be an organizer, be there. We're hosting a local screening in Denver at the Liberation Center. That's 8107 East Colfax. We got the information here. We have flyers that'll be on Facebook. This is so important. We need to come together and talk about how we're going to make this movement happen. Who wants to be there? You going to be there? Our speakers tonight, I want to welcome up Ryan with the Answer Coalition. Come on up.
Countries. They cut off food and medicine to places around the world and then tell us that those countries are evil, that they are that are starving and murdering their people. They try to convince us that any regime that they hate are the real evil ones. Trump says that Iran's punishment will be new crushing sanctions on the country. He says that these sanctions are just holding off a real response while his administration thinks it over. But sanctions are war. Sanctions are war. Sanctions killed 500,000 people in Iraq, 500,000 children in Iraq alone. Sanctions killed 40,000 in a single year in Venezuela. Sanctions prevent people around the world from getting the medicine that they need. That's children, that's elderly people, that's sick people that are prevented from getting the medicine they need because of U.S. sanctions. Sanctions starve and they murder. They're an act of war, and we oppose them just like we oppose war. I'm not here tonight because I believe that these aggressive wars that the U.S. wage are the real evil in the world. I don't believe the lies that the U.S. tries to tell me. I don't believe that when they try to convince me that war is a good thing. I don't believe when they tell me that their bombs liberate.
That's right.
I don't believe it when Trump says that all this is a de-escalation, that Iranians are the real ones that really want war. I know that Iranians aren't my enemy. I know who my enemy is. It's Donald Trump. And it's the liars that try to sell me war and tell me it's good for me. There has not been a year of my life that the United States hasn't been at war. But I haven't seen the world become a safer place. In fact, millions have died in the Middle East alone because of U.S. wars, and more around the world. We need to be clear who our real enemies are, because they are poor people in Iran, or in Iraq, or Syria, or North Korea, or Venezuela. They're the politicians who say they're a part of the resistance and they'd give Trump billions for war. They also say that they couldn't find a penny for health care or for housing. They're the investors who make money off the bombs dropped in other countries, just like they make money every time a new person gets hooked on opioids in Denver. Our enemies are the talking heads who tell us to hate poor people at home and abroad when we really should be after them. We're out here today at the beginnings of a new anti-war movement, a movement that refuses to believe the lies that the White House tells us, a movement that mobilizes on a moment's notice when warmongers try to throw us into another war. We know that there isn't room for us in the House of Representatives or in the Senate or in any other house of power in the United States. All our so-called representatives betray us when they vote for war, and when they refuse to stop filling the U.S. war chest, when they say they're part of the resistance, but crumble and buy into every lie Trump tells on the way to war. We know where our fight is. Our fight's in the street, and that's where you'll find us. Every day that we come together, we get stronger. We gain more courage, more discipline, more power. Every day that we are in the streets, the war profiteers, the lying politicians, the whole ruling class gets more afraid of us. That's because we're fighting for a world without them. Without their wars. We're fighting every day for a new society, all of us, that provides every human on the planet with health care and housing and dignified work and the ability to better ourselves. That's what we want. The system we want doesn't require death and destruction in order to exist. I mean it when I say that I believe that we can have that. But we need to fight for it, and that means joining together, that means working together, that means organizing as poor and working people that gain nothing from these wars for profit and for power. It means joining organizations like the Answer Coalition that work tirelessly to develop working and poor people into leaders that can build a new world. Thank you all so much for coming out again. I really appreciate it. And I really do believe we're at the beginning of a new anti-war movement. And next time, let's all 3 or 4 friends, am I right? No justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East. Woo! All right, thank you, everyone. My name is Bruno. I'm an organizer with Answer. I am a worker and I am an immigrant. And I've struggled in this country, working full-time, paycheck to paycheck, without health care, facing racism, fearing the police, fearing a recession, fearing not making rent and getting evicted. Just like all of us, the same struggle that we all that with all these problems at home, we've been occupying the Middle East since before I was born. We've been at war for my entire lifetime. I've never feared Iran. All our struggles, sexism, racism, poverty, homelessness, homophobia, transphobia, they're struggles that we have to fight here at home.
Fight the bosses! That's right. Burn down the American plantation.
Iran has never threatened to evict me. Iran has never threatened to deport me. Iran has never threatened to arrest me. Iran has never denied me access to health care or access to reproductive justice or access to a living wage. When the imperialists go overseas and drop their bombs, they drop them in our name.
That's right.
When they send the troops, they do it in our name.
Make killers out of us.
When we say, we don't want your bombs, we don't want your troops, you have more in common with an Raytheon or with the CEO of Lockheed Martin.
That's right.
Or with Nancy Pelosi, or with Donald Trump, or with any other billionaire or millionaire who's not willing to go over and fight the war themselves. Not only is this aggression not in our best interest, it is morally reprehensible to not stand against it.
That's right.
If we don't speak now, we cannot look back in hindsight and talk about what we should have done. It is our responsibility, as we live in the belly of the beast, as we are the aggressor. It is our responsibility to speak out. Speak out against the sanctions, speak out against the breaking of the JCPOA, the military assaults, and the occupation. When the bombs drop, they're not going to be selective about dropping them on military targets.
That's right.
We've seen these horrendous actions, these despicable assaults time and time again. The bombs will drop on civilians and military targets alike.
Shame! Shame! Shame!
Just like the sanctions that Trump has imposed, sanctions are not targeted to just the political leadership of a country. They are designed to starve an entire population. They're designed to starve nations and are an act of war too.
That's right. 4!
We have to fight again, are going to take action to put these war criminals in jail.
Shame on both parties.
We've had Democrat and Republican we've had one after the other in the last 10 years, and they've still been occupying the Middle East since before I was born. Or Iraqis care if the bomb comes from Obama or from Trump.
No!
That's why we have to act now. We have to stand together and act now. They fear our collective action. If we want to avoid further escalation, we have to come together in a new anti-war movement.
That's right.
We might feel small individually by comparison to the political elite in our country, by comparison to the multi-billion dollar military-industrial complex, but our strength lies in our numbers and our militancy.
Let's stop us all!
The mainstream media is going to come together and they're going to swarm to justify all the atrocities that Trump wants to commit. They're doing it now with the assassination, the illegal assassination of Soleimani. They're trying to pump up pro-war propaganda because they need your consent. They need your complacency to go to war. They need us to stand by and do nothing and say nothing.
Fuck the liars! No, we won't do that.
They might have all the money in the world, but we're the ones that make this society run. If we don't go to work tomorrow, who's going to clean their cars? Who's going to clean their clothes, their houses? Who's going to make their food? Who's going to run their buses? Who's going to run their trains? Who's going to clean and run their facility they have here, or the bus station, or all their offices. No one. They're not going to do it themselves. They rely on us. We cannot give this fight up to them right now. Every single one of you has the power to stop this. Every single one of you has the power to take them off of their seats of power.
Stand up, fight back!
We need to fight back. We need to spread the word, educate, agitate, and organize. Every single person here is being called to be an organizer. Every single person here has the capacity to organize your co-workers, your friends, your families, your schools, your social gatherings, whatever it is. And if we all come together and do this, we will be so loud and so powerful, they will have to stop, whether they like it or not. Thank you. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to march downtown. We're going to have everyone follow this banner. We're going to walk down the steps to my right over here. So if we could please get in formation behind this banner, let the banner walk through first, and just stand behind them and follow them. And thank you, everyone. Let's get loud. No war, any rock. No war, any run.
U.S. out of the Middle East!
U.S. out of the Middle East. No justice, no peace.
U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice.
No peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace.
Oh, it's still. I don't care.
No justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. Stop the war in Iran! No sanctions! No bombs! Stop the war in Iran! No sanctions! No bombs! Stop the war in Iran! No sanctions! No bombs! Stop the war in Iran! No sanctions! No bombs! Stop the war in Iran! No sanctions! No bombs! Stop the war in Iran! No sanctions! No bombs! Stop the war in Iran! Sanctions, no bombs! Stop the war in Iran! No sanctions, no bombs! Stop the war in Iran! No sanctions, no bombs! Stop the war in Iran! No sanctions, no bombs! Stop the war in Iran! No sanctions, no bombs! Stop the war in Iran! No sanctions, no bombs! Stop the war in Iran! No sanctions, no bombs! Stop the war!
It's a nice little group. About a block.
No sanctions, no bombs.
Yeah, right? And there was a de-escalation technique today.
Sanctions, no bombs. Stop the war in Iran. No sanctions, no bombs. Stop the war in USA. The biggest threat in the world today. Donald Trump in the USA. Biggest threat in the world today. Donald Trump in the USA. Biggest threat in the world today. Donald Trump in the USA. The biggest threat in the world today. Donald Trump in the USA. The biggest threat in the world today. Donald Trump in the USA. What's the biggest threat in the world today? Donald Trump in the USA. The biggest threat in the world today. Donald Trump in the USA. Biggest threat in the world today. Donald Trump in the USA. The biggest threat in the world today. Donald Trump in the USA. Biggest threat in the world today. Donald Trump in the USA. The biggest threat in the world today. Donald Trump in the USA.
the USA. Biggest threat in the world today is Donald Trump and the USA.
Oh, we got a police escort. They decided to send us an escort this time. That's our escort. Look, they're hustling all the copy copies. Example of how not to direct traffic, even though you think they're going to do it for you. This is how they don't do it, because what you see is they're not going to stop traffic. They're going to have a mess of them. Fuck yeah. All right, look at that critical mass. Let's see what we get now.
Not more wars and occupation.
Money for jobs and education.
Not more wars and occupation.
Money for jobs and education.
Okay.
Money for education. Not more wars and occupation.
Money for jobs and education.
Not more wars and occupation.
Money for jobs and education.
Not more wars and occupation.
That's all. They don't care if people die.
That's a lie. They don't care if people die. Humanitarian, that's a lie. They don't care if people die. Humanitarian, that's a lie. They don't care if people die. Humanitarian, that's a lie. They don't care if people die. Humanitarian, that's a lie. They don't care if people die. Humanitarian, that's a lie. They don't care if people die.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
What they trying to tell you?
Cops are bad. To make sure everyone's safe.
Okay. Really? Did they stop the traffic? Did they actually control the traffic? There is still no traffic control going on here. Good. That's what it takes. They don't know how to control traffic. That's the problem. All these officers should have been shutting the traffic down. That's their job. Thank you. Hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist cars have got to go!
These racist boys have got to go. Hey, hey. These racist boys have got to go. Hey, hey.
They're not doing jack shit.
These racist boys have got to go. Hey, hey. These racist boys have got to go. Hey, hey.
next time.
These racist wars have got to go.
Hey, hey.
These racist wars have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. These racist wars have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. These racist wars have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. These racist wars have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho.
They're not stopping traffic. They're not doing jack shit. They're gone. You see that shit? That's how it doesn't work.
These racist wars have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. These racist wars have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho.
Thank you.
These racist wars have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. These racist wars have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho.
$19.56. Got a batch check? Oh, that name cake. Thank you. He's working on it. He's working real hard. He's doing a good job balancing his wheels.
No more wars! 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 1, 2, 3, 4! We don't want your racist war! 5, 6, 7, 8! We don't want your racist war! 1, 2, 3, 4! We don't want your racist war! 1, 2, 3, 4!
They don't know how to count to 8. That's fair.
5, 6, 7, 8! Stop the killing! Stop the hate! 1, 2, 3, 4! We don't want your racist war! 5, 6, 7, 8! Stop the killing! Stop the hate! 1, 2, 3,
Watch out, you two.
we don't want your racist
Cops don't know how to direct traffic. Here for a reason. They don't know how to direct traffic.
So what's happening?
We took out one of the head commanders of Iran.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right? So that was a big protest on Saturday. And they decided to do it in the night. Because you know what? We can't have that shit. Simple. Thank you.
We don't want your racist war! 5, 6, 7, 8! Stop the killing! Stop the hate! 1, 2, 3, 4! We don't want your racist war! 5, 6, 7, 8! Stop the killing! Stop the hate! 1, 2, 3, 4! We don't want your racist war! Stop the killing! Stop the hate! 1, 2, 3, 4! We don't
I wonder if we're gonna come off the sidewalk and onto the road.
When your own is under attack, what do we do?
No, they're not.
When your own is under attack, what do we do? When your own is under attack, what do we do?
That is a downtown Denver partnership security guard. Private badges and everything. I lost my friend though. That's never good.
No justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no sanctions, no vote. For Iran, no sanctions, no bombs. Stop the war in Iran, no sanctions, no bombs. Stop the war in Iran, no sanctions, no bombs. Stop the war in Iran, no sanctions, no bombs. Stop the war in Iran, no sanctions, no bombs.
That's a police vehicle. It has a tag on the back of
Stop the war in Iran.
Those are police officers inside this vehicle. Two of them. Yeah. Denver police, right?
Police, sir.
Fantastic. Do you guys have names and badge numbers?
Yes.
Can I have them, please?
Greg Mullen, badge 91027.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mullen.
Matthews, 95003.
Matthews 95503. Why are you guys driving a vehicle with stickers on the license plate?
Stickers on the
Yeah, it says that this is a emission tested vehicle for 2020. But this isn't. But police vehicles don't put tags on their cars anymore. Well, I don't think he's very bright either. So it's a consistency, and I caught it because you are police officers in a police vehicle that's properly tagged per the laws of the state of Colorado. But a lot of the city police cars don't have that emissions tag on them.
Up with the city.
I will. I was just curious, and thank you, gentlemen.
Drive the car that they give us.
I get it.
All right, have a good one.
Yep. So you got to see what goes on, because that vehicle has its proper tags on it. Most city of Denver police cars do not. There's our policies. There's our police officers. There's 3 there. There's 10 there.
Politicians stop the war! Politicians stop the war! They don't fight, they send the war! Politicians start the war! They don't fight, they send the war! Politicians start the war! They don't fight, they send the war! Politicians start the war! They don't fight, they send the war! Politicians start the war! They don't fight, they send the war! These racist pigs, they got to go! These racist pigs have 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 got to go! These racist wars have got to go! Hey, hey! These racist wars have got to go! Hey, hey! These racist wars have got to go! Hey, hey! How do you spell racist? D-E-D! How do you spell racist? D-E-D!
I'm worried about that guy in the black hat. Two phones, one in each back pocket right there. His hands in his hoodie. I think he's a police officer. Might be embedded. Just keep an eye on things. Don't assault him.
We tried to de-escalate.
I know. I have a feeling about him.
I don't like cops in there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this collective, it appears to be headed back to the Capitol. I'm going to be laying behind slower and slower here. I want to see what the police activity is like, and then I'm just going to bleed out of it and kill the channel here in a minute. But I want to watch these guys and see what they do at the intersection here, and then we're going to let the protest mess, which seems to be staying on the sidewalk, not blocking traffic, and obeying all laws, we're gonna let them meld out. And I'm gonna split. But there's some random supporters. Hey, vote, fucker!
That's right. New York car out. Vote. That's the only
right.
That's the only way we get them out.
That's right. So there's two. And I'm just gonna let the Denver police know that tonight I'm studying their tactics. Taking the sidewalk, not the road. And these guys must be pretty good. right, folks. This is my cue. Discreetly disappearing. Sometimes you just gotta meld into the night. Oh, look at that. Then you learn what else you find. When you hang back and watch, you'll learn a little bit more. There's more than you expect, ladies and gentlemen. I told you we were gonna be in for a surprise. I told you there was more than a surprise. Everybody getting a good workout tonight? No. Yeah, they are kind of slow tonight, aren't they? And there's another unit. See? It's a surprise. I wonder how long I'll hold them back here. And then this one's just blocking the bus lane. No signal to the bus driver, right? That they gotta go around me. While we're at it, let's look at this plate. Because I want to show you what I'm talking about, folks. Because when we look at the plate for this vehicle, you're gonna see that there's no emissions tag on it, right? We're gonna see that there's no stickers, no tags on that plate. That's a government vehicle, right? The other one, not marked as such. Oh, now they're gonna turn their flipping lights on. Isn't that wonderful? So, that was a 1 block rollback. And what you experienced from that, ladies and gentlemen, was another 7 police officers, 9 police officers. So just when you think you're safe, remember how many they got. That puts, I'm going to estimate about 1 police officer for every 5 to 7 protesters that attended this event tonight. Why did they show up with so much force? Quite possibly because they anticipated the 1,000 or more that were at the last one. Either way, that's my lesson. Hope you have a great day. This is Brian Loma with Cut the Plastic, and we'll talk to you all later.